Well, we've made it to Brussels for Newcastle United's second Champions League game of this season's 36-team competition, and Newcastle do indeed need to pick up 3 points in this one, but it won't be easy against Union SG. They are flying high at the top of the Belgian Pro League and now face a Newcastle team who are stuttering a little bit, it has to be said. But let's be totally honest, Newcastle United should go into this game with confidence. They've been on this Champions League stage before. They go in against a team who won't be daunted by the prospect of facing Newcastle. After all, they did beat Liverpool in the Europa League here a couple of years ago, albeit a young Liverpool team. But the truth of the matter is, Newcastle in any competition just need to start stringing wins together, and this would be the ideal spot to do it. Newcastle fans arriving here in their droves. Only 1,000 of them have got tickets, but there is a fan zone which we will be visiting soon to accommodate those supporters without tickets. But yeah, beautiful day here in Brussels. Newcastle press conference about to start very soon, and we'll be bringing you the latest from that from Lotto Park, the home of Anderlecht, where this game will take place tomorrow night. But yeah, as I say, Newcastle United in need of a victory here in Brussels, but it won't be easy. One thing that is worth noting, that Newcastle United just have this embarrassment of riches in terms of centre-backs. If only they had that same option with centre-forwards. But Eddie Howe's press conference just touching on it there, it's getting harder and harder to name those two centre-halves for games. And realistically, Malik Thow's come in, he's been absolutely fantastic for Newcastle so far, but you've still got Dan Burn, you've still got Sven Botman, you've also got the club captain Jamal Lascelles, who isn't registered to play in the Champions League, but certainly an option in some games, and Fabian Schär as well, pushing for places. So yeah, real options for Newcastle, something they haven't had in recent years. But I think realistically, tomorrow night we're going to see the shape of this team and exactly how Eddie Howe is going to go about it in the Champions League. Well, as you can see, Newcastle United in good spirits as they prepare for their game tomorrow night here in Brussels in the Champions League against Union SG, and it's a real opportunity to post 3 points on the board after that opening night defeat against Barcelona. But Newcastle, as I say, in very good spirits here in Belgium and hoping to get underway in this season's Champions League, because realistically they've got a real opportunity to get into the playoffs this season. The top 8 might be a push for them, you never know, but definitely an opportunity to get in the playoffs. 4 wins or 5 wins could be enough to do that, but it all starts really for Newcastle here tomorrow night in Brussels in front of just 1,000 Newcastle fans who've got tickets for this one. We're at the home of Anderlecht, and as I say, it's a real chance to bounce back from that defeat against Arsenal. But let's see how training went tonight here in Brussels. Moving on to this game tomorrow night, what is going to happen here in Brussels, Newcastle, which Newcastle United is going to turn up. You look at how the season's gone so far, and you know, it's a strange one. Newcastle have kept clean sheets in some games where they've been up against it, and then they've conceded really cheap goals, cheap giveaways. That's what Eddie Howe called it in his press conference in the lead up to this game. But I have to say, the change of scenery did seem to bring a smile to Eddie Howe's face. Lovely weather here in Belgium at the moment. And I think really Newcastle, a change of competition as well. It's going to be important for them. I think, you know, that game against Arsenal was a real choker going into the final stages of the game, and Newcastle conceding twice with that slender lead in the hand, but unfortunately they just couldn't see it through. They're going to have to do a lot better than that. This won't be easy against Union tomorrow night. They are a very good team. They're top of their league, and they've won the cup in recent years as well. They won the title. They will be up for this tomorrow night, make no doubt about that. But the reality for Newcastle now is, where does this season go? Do they want it to be like last year when they were pushing on, they had momentum? Or is it going to be a little bit more like 2 years ago where they end up failing to qualify for Europe again because of such inconsistent form? That's not a place Newcastle want to go, so they really need to nail down a few wins. They need to get back-to-back wins. That would give them so much confidence. Eddie Howe talking about confidence in the press conference earlier, but they've got to transfer it onto the pitch. As I say, they were in great spirits in training before. Let's hope it's a good sign here in Brussels.